Now ignore the April calculation for a while because we have to again update the formula, which I'll be explaining you shortly. Now here, let me explain in more elaborate way. With AND logic, as I mentioned before, we need to have all the logics to be true, to have a true value here. So if this logic 2 and logic 1 both are true, then only we'll get true here, otherwise we'll get false. So what was the logic first? First logic was that we are comparing our start date with the month end date. So whether they are less than or equal to true or not. So let's try to evaluate that. I'll press F9. So it's true here, right? Because this date is less than the month end date. But what about the second condition? So let's try to evaluate that. And I press F9. It is false. Why? Because the difference between February 2017, 28 February 2017 minus 15 Jan is always more than 28 days. So that is false. And since it is false, this entire condition is false. You are moving to the value if false for this entire if function, which is nothing but monthly amortization, which is number of days in a month. So in this case is 28 days into daily charge. So I'll escape that. Now there is something wrong with the month of April calculation here. Why? Because we wanted only 15 days amortization in month of April. So the figure should have been around $444, and it is not the case. It is calculating entire month's amortization, which is not correct. Now to get exact calculation in the month of April for 15 days, we have to update our second condition, which is this condition, right? Where we are calculating entire month's prepayment, that is 30 days for the April into daily charge. So instead of this, we have to write one more if function. So what would that be? So we have to write if end date is less than or equal to April, which is the month end date in that particular month, right? What we want? We want the calculation for 15 days in month of April. How to calculate that? So we have to minus end date of the prepayment, which is 15 April here in the case, and immediately previous month end date, which is 31st March 2017. So that will give us exact days for that particular month end. So for April it will be 15 days, right? And we have to multiply it with the daily charge, right? And otherwise we want the full month calculation if that is not the case, right? So let's press enter, and we got the exact figure which we're looking for. So 417 should be our amortization in month of April. So let's try to reevaluate it. So if I total all this, I should have $2,500, which is the case here. So our formula is correct. Now let me just freeze the references. So here it would be D would be our column, J would be row, D is column, I is a row, and F is a column, and press enter. Let's try to copy the formula